This college football picks week 8 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code SGPN.
Hey folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride. Go Hokies, man.
Fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money grade with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kram?
Dog. Early a daytime show.
Yes.
Different crowd. Maybe it's like when you go to the strip club when it's still light out. It's a different crowd than the.
What's
late
that
night.
like?
You've never been for like a lunch?
No,
I'm not.
I don't think so.
I worked in the corporate world for a little bit, and there were times when Sean, you lived in Hollywood, not too far from where I worked in Hollywood. If I'm not mistaken, I worked across the street from the Chinese theater, right there by the Kimmel Theater, and that right around the corner there was that strip club down. I think it's like La Brea down a little bit, and they had amazing lunchtime food. Like we
great.
Not even like hyperbole. We would go there to eat. I mean, it was a disgusting strip club. The girls were more disgusting than the food, which is, I would say it's like what's the place in Magic City? The wings are excellent.
Yeah,
the meat on the wings, not the meat on the stage.
They love going for the wings. Joining us on the line to talk all things college football, Colby Dent, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
I'm here to tell you that it was called the Body Shop. Now it could be Seventh Veil, which was on Sunset just about a little bit, where they shot the
Body Shop
girls.
Correct.
Body Shop is correct, and it was from my experience, because a couple of my good buddies were Lebanese, and I believe the owner was Lebanese, so we would go there for happy hour to start the day before going elsewhere. Shout out to the Body Shop.
I mean, I'm glad.
The talent that was D3.
Would you agree the food was better than the women?
Never had the food. Never had the food. I had the cocktails.
I
know not to eat food at a strip club. I know. Bet Detective has this place in Rhode Island he's been telling me about. But
they got great shrimp scampi.
Oh, it's the Patino place, right?
Oh, you're right. Well, I would trust.
What's
Patino.
the name of that place? It's something it's God damn it. It'll come to us.
All right, we gotta. I mean, we have a lot of college football to get to. We have a bunch of big news, but of course, unfortunately, Thursday was a rough night. Not only did I lose with my Eagles, but unfortunately, we lost a star in the college sports world. R.I.P. Sister Jean.
Oh yeah.
Who did you think I was mentioning? Colby?
I was wondering. I was like, God, what's he talking about? Did Jack Tatum die or something? What's going on?
Start again, please. Colby's ruining the moment.
Not only did we lose, there we go, sister. We had our ups and downs, but we had some great, incredible runs. It was always awesome to see you there. Immediate ball knower. I'll be honest. They should have let you retire earlier. I was very upset. They let you retire for 1 week. They should have let you enjoy your retirement. I have a problem with the school.
You want to kill her? You
literally worked this poor woman to death. She was a great college sports fan. She was a great mascot. We have her bobblehead somewhere. Sister Jean, love you. You will be missed. Great college basketball fan. Colby, what do you have to say about Sister Jean?
The ride was magical. Obviously, that team. I don't understand. Me and Kramer had for years noted your aggression towards Sister Jean. I know you had that dartboard with her photo on the front of it where you would throw darts at it. But yeah, I mean, for me and Kramer, I feel like she was nothing but entertainment. She's a great fan. She's a great symbol of the university and made college basketball better. But I'm surprised, Sean, that see, this is what happens. The moment hits him, Kramer, and he realizes he was been a dick this long, you know?
Well, he's one of these. He's fucking one of these Irish Catholic people. They just got to do bad things and then repent. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of off put by the existence of Sean on this memorial service right now.
I came here to honor a great woman, a great college basketball fan, someone that helped us enjoy
one of your worst handicaps ever.
What?
her life expectancy.
We have to go back and find the original comment. I think it was something like, well, Sister Jean, she's not going to be around forever, and maybe they're going to be inspired by her passing. And then, oh, you're wishing death on her. Never. I foolishly thought her days were numbered, but she outlived me. She cashed the over on Sister Jean. Sweet lady. R.I.P. Sister Jean.
I mean, 2018. That was a pre-pandemic.
She lived 7 more years.
She survived the pandemic.
106. You know what I mean? Like,
also, are they somewhat responsible for her death? If she doesn't retire, she's still alive.
Yeah. Why'd they make her retire? It's like when Joe Palmer retired.
That's a good point.
You immediately knew
they have nothing else to do.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
In some regard, the existence of something to do is what keeps people alive. My dad always says this. So the day I don't have anything to do, I'll be dead.
Kramer, I sent you the video. There was one of my favorite Sister Jean moments, unfortunately, was when there was a game and she was putting up some daps and expected to get dap back, and unfortunately the team left Sister Jean hanging. So.
Let me get this up on the screen.
Pull it up.
The team was bad at the time. I think they started off rough. They ended up
skilled team. You're gonna find someone open, and this team's got scores.
They started off rough, and I think you could feel that was probably an omen, though. I think that was like one of the first games of the season, if memory serves me correct.
All right. I mean, Sister Jean, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, but this is just her being left hanging. No one gives her a dap. No one. Come on. She's got her chair right there.
Oh no.
That is just.
See, this is what you choose to bring on this.
Yeah.
For this moment, Sean. Come on. This is again. I mean, she is one of you. So now that you don't have the negative energy of one of your arch rivals, in the universe anymore, what's next for you?
I don't know. I let the enemies. I let the enemies come to me, Ryan. And to be clear, she was not an enemy.
Perhaps Sister Jean exits and Jackson Dart enters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Longevity check.
Guys, Loyola Chicago plus 900 to win the A10.
Oh,
really? They already have those odds out.
Plus 900.
It's only week 7. Jesus.
Check out the so you think Loyola could win the A10?
Well, I know a tragic magic situation when I hear one. And,
come on, Sean.
Okay.
You know,
we have to have a piece of this.
Plus 900. Look, and the favorite to win the conference is VCU plus 310. They're replacing a head coach. I mean, come on.
Sean,
what
all
else?
right, let's get a paper ticket on this.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
All right. That's a good idea. We'll get one in her honor. Switching gears, we got to talk about James Franklin, head coach, Penn State, getting fired. I guess to me, it's not crazy. It's a little crazy to me that he got fired in season. I get he had 2 bad losses, but kind of, I mean, literally they were number 5 in the country, favored against Oregon, lose 2 games at UCLA and a conference game against Northwestern. Both games where they were 20-point favorites. I get it. Now, James Franklin, this Penn State team, 0-6 ATS, which I'm sure didn't help things, but kind of crazy to go from 5th in the nation to fired in 2 weeks. I can't think of anyone without like an off the field issue happening to have such a quick downfall in season. Colby, what do you make of the James Franklin firing?
Well, kind of crazy to fire someone that was 37-11 in the past 4 years.
Yes.
37-11. And you know, this is the difference between football and basketball, and maybe we're just gonna have to recalibrate ourselves, meaning the sport, moving forward with a larger playoff. He made the Final Four. If you make the Final Four in basketball, it's like the greatest achievement ever. You get like a 10-year contract, right? In football, you know, they were knocking on the door. They probably should have won that game. It was a bad collapse, but the fact is they made the Final Four a year ago. He won a Big Ten championship not that long ago. I understand you paid a lot for this roster. You want to return on it, but I mean, I took the under for a reason. I didn't think they'd be this bad, but I'm saying like Tyler Warren was like 90% of that offense last year, and Drew Aller is Drew Aller. So I mean, I would question your general manager if they have one. I don't know, because I know that some of the teams are later to the game than that these days. But I mean, it's hard to fire someone that's won that many games. And like, who the fuck are you going to get that's better? I know Matt Rule is the name. I don't think he is a better head coach than James Franklin. So I don't know, unless you already know your play call and you're stealing, I don't know, someone like,
the names that the names that they're floating around don't feel like a massive step up from James Franklin, and James Franklin seemed to stabilize the program, high level of success overall.
That's the talking point though.
What do you mean?
Program builder. Isn't able to take it over the top to the next step.
And that's fair. I guess I'm just to me the most surprising part is that they did it in season. I get that maybe you got frustrated. And to me, it's kind of similar like the Titans and Vrabel, where they were always like a pretty solid NFL team. He's seen as a good head coach, but they weren't winning the Super Bowl with him. They weren't, winning a conference championship.
But also, it is. I understand you want to feel like you're competing for the top. But it's incredibly, like, it's a crazy gamble to say, consistently in the top 10 to 20 teams in the country, meaning you're going to be in the playoff most years, is not good enough. It's not like he's falling short on the recruiting. I mean,
he's kind of the guy to get him back. I mean, I know people say Bill O'Brien kind of went through it, but Bill O'Brien never had them good like this. And to get him back to that plateau, I would say he's very responsible for that. And then, but the sport is changing. I mean, we've never seen this many firings by October 14th or whatever, October 10th, whatever day that was, where he got fired. And I know that they say like you want to still be able to get ticket sales the rest of the year, and if fans are out, if they, that was what Virginia Tech was saying, right? But
this is the Virginia Tech situation is so comically now the Virginia Tech fans are like, oh, James Franklin would be a great hire. What? He's just going to bring Coach Pry back as a defensive coordinator.
I
don't know if we want him.
He might be good at Virginia Tech.
The guy's had 2 losing seasons in his career. I agree. And one was at Vanderbilt in year 1 when they still made a bowl.
He also
6 and 7.
He recruited the shit out of Virginia. So I mean, there's a lot of, but the Virginia Tech situation was just an obvious, like, this guy can't run a program. With James Franklin, it's like he can run a program, he can recruit. You're checking 2 of the most critical boxes. You just need to get smarter in-game coaching. Like for him, it's no different than Cristobal. It's like they're just dummies in the game. They do all the other stuff really, really well.
Yeah,
and that, to me, that's the one like deficiency with a coach that you can say, okay, let's hire some extra senior advisors here and make sure we don't run into this type of situation, because everything else seems to be running smoothly. I don't understand.
Another thing is just the timing of the changing of the sport. You go back to like the Sean Clifford team that won the Big Ten but missed the 4-team playoff, which was kind of ridiculous, right? Nowadays, that's an auto bid. They would have.
That's what I mean.
That could have won the national championship.
That was the other. Yeah, that was the other thing. Like this new playoff format, you could argue benefited James Franklin the most out of any of these coaches, because he always struggled with the other top teams in the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan. But there was a lot of now, losing to UCLA, Northwestern, they probably weren't obviously going to get into the playoff. I would assume, unless, who knows, maybe if they beat Ohio. I mean, Colby, were they officially out of the college football playoff? They would have had to have won out. But I'm just saying,
even with that, they would need help.
Yeah. Most years though, that Penn State is probably a good bet to get in the college football playoff, and he showed that he can win some college football playoff games.
I am very. I'll be very. So he might like the. We all think that this influx of money is just going to cause concentration towards the top. But if these same people are treating this like a corporation and they're going to slowly run it into the ground because they constantly want to turn shit over, I mean, forget about wasting all this money firing a coach that you could be spending on a fucking roster. You're also just what is the likelihood that the coach you replace him with is going to be better in his first year? second year, third year. I mean, it just seems like you're setting yourself up to more likely take a step down. Study the entire, like, be smart, be like a hedge fund guy. Run some reports. You know what you'll find is that constantly churning coaches is a consistent trait amongst bad programs. It's a consistent trait, obviously, right? But so why accelerate that? Why take the AAU youth sports culture of the coach is the problem and just exacerbate that? You're also now validating. You want to know why coaches lose locker rooms so quickly? Because you fire them so quickly, and they understand that they have, by not showing up, they can get a coach fired. That is the most common excuse for why a coach is fired in season. He lost the team. So now you're showing these kids who have grown up with a culture of it's the coach or the club. I'm just going to move on to a better situation. Now that you've given them the ammunition to actually have the revolution. And we're watching, like, that's what happened at Penn State. The team quit on him, which is crazy. And it probably isn't even the whole team. It's just a couple, you get a little bit of that quit seeping into a locker room. So yeah, I think actually the take here is I think we might see elite programs shoot themselves in the dick, causing themselves to fall down. And we're in a time now where if you fall down too hard and you're not able to get back up, it might actually, like, I think keeping Franklin would have been the better choice here. Yeah. I don't see a scenario where they end up better.
They have so much money that the roster they'll get will end up being decent enough, but I don't know. Like, if you don't have the coach, you can buy all these mercenaries, but you need a coach to wrangle them.
State college sucks. Like, they're recruiting even amongst the cold cities.
State college sucks.
No, I'm saying amongst the northern schools. Like, that is not a desirable place to go.
Oh, and so, you're crazy.
I've been there. I've enjoyed myself there. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you're recruiting against the South, the West, other maybe bigger cities in the Big Ten,
I think money talks, money driven, and also the history of
that's
they got a million great players in their history, dude.
I think it's reasonable to think Penn State will fall out of being an elite recruiting school.
I think they'll still recruit well because they'll have a ton of money.
It is,
and I think we're going to find out some
time to fire him because of, like, Indiana is on the way up.
They think they're going to hire Signetti. They think they're going to
that I would be pretty shocked. Like, to me, that's the only way you fire him is if you knew you had him, or I don't know, someone like shocking. Where
Nick Saban.
I don't think, but he's 72. Like, you're seeing Belichick right now.
It looks bad. I know.
I mean, yeah, like,
but you act like they're going to make a smart choice, Colby. They could also make a really bad decision.
Yeah,
or maybe like the 49ers, they don't actually know who they're going to hire.
Well, I think certainly they're, I mean, we'll see who they end up hiring, but I think when you have this much money, you'll still be able to get some decent players.
Well, but then another thing that's stupid of them is, so they go with Terry Smith as their interim head coach. Andy Kotelnicki is their OC. Jim Knowles is their DC. Kotelnicki interviewed for the West Virginia job. He was Lance Leipold's offensive coordinator for forever. This is like a hot name now. Obviously, it's not as hot after a 3-3 start. But why would you not give him that runway if he's cutting edge? And, he was not very conservative, and Penn State's offense, I feel like, been rather conservative. So you wonder if that was a Franklin thing and not Kotelnicki when he was at Kansas and Buffalo and Wisconsin Whitewater and everything. Why would you not give him the floor? Are you afraid he's going to be successful and the fans will want him? But he might be a head coach in a year or two. I don't understand the logic of not at least giving him the interim tag to see what he can do.
Yeah. No, I would have waited to the end of the season just to see, because I don't think the program's totally cooked, and that's when you get rid of a guy like him. In my mind, the chat saying, should Franklin go to Michigan State and have Penn State pay him $49 million to coach against them? That would be an all-time.
There is offset clause, so he's not going to get $49 million from Penn State unless he doesn't work, and he technically, it's like he's on unemployment. He technically has to try to get a job, and it even includes a studio gig. He gets a studio gig.
Well, we
offset clause.
Happy to host the James Franklin gambling podcast on the network.
Fun nugget though. So the $49 million buyout is the second largest in college football history. Do you know the first largest?
course.
It has to be Lane Kiffin.
No, it's that's been activated. Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M.
Oh, yes,
$76 million buyout.
Well, that's he's
living in Dubai right now.
You need an asterisk for domestic buyouts and foreign backed buyouts. I feel like those you're not playing with the same house of cards.
He has to make a quote good faith effort to find a job.
Yeah, we are offering you James Franklin. Get on James Franklin, the college experience, taking the Patty C role, showing up on shades, just hammering drinks from a dorm room. I could see it.
So and real quick though, so because there was a lot of some people would say it's not real reporting, and others would say there's truth to the rumors, but Penn State did just sign a 10-year, $300 million ish contract with Adidas. There was a lot of rumors swirling that Adidas may have had something to do with this. There was multiple reports that at least some of the board of trustees were unhappy with the decision, or at least the timing of the decision. Colby, is there any truth to any of that bullshit?
I haven't officially heard that, but also I know the Big Ten is potentially closing in on a private equity deal.
Oh my God.
For $2 billion for each school.
Saudi's gonna own the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I like how private equity is just completely it's now code for money from Middle East.
It's hilarious though, because the Big Ten you would not think would be the conference that needs it, with them having the richest TV deal. But I guess just as capitalism 101 of like, hey, we could destroy everybody.
When the Big
else.
Ten has to play a game,
when
they have to play a game in the Middle East, that's gonna be like fucking.
It's gonna be an early kickoff for Dubai.
We got Washington and Rutgers.
I mean, if they can
build the Dubai turf,
they can build.
They're the worst fucking conference. Let's be honest. I fucking hate them, dude. Like
they can build an indoor ski ramp. They can build a.
If we just went back
stadium.
to how we were conference wise, like 4 years ago, the Pac-12 is fine. Like a lot of good teams there. The Big Ten doesn't have to be doing all this circus shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you guys going to that Maryland UCLA game this weekend?
It is odd to me that the SEC is becoming less of the bad guy.
No, all their states touch each other. It makes. Dude, the SEC's blueprint in a way, it kind of made sense. Like Texas and Oklahoma, as much as they were Big 12 teams and formerly Big 8 and Southwest teams, they had already gone out and got some Southwest teams. So like it would have already, and then the Big 12 teams. So they had this history for Texas and Texas A&M have been playing forever. Prior to the breakup of the Big 12. So it was logical. It was logical. As much as I don't like it, I wish they were in the Big 12. I still think it was logical. The shoe fits a little bit better. The Big 10 one is basically wanting to be the NFL.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's
the Big 10 when they added the West Coast teams, it just got a little bonkers. Looking at our college football contest record, we went 3-3-1. Although there were. Colby, how did Auburn? So we had Auburn. The losing picks were Auburn plus 3.5, Oklahoma plus 1, Oregon minus 7.5. Oregon, I'll take credit for. That was just Indiana. I mean, hats off to him. Signetti is much. Indiana's the real deal. You go in and you win in Autzen. Hats off to you. That was a great win. Mendoza's looked awesome. Auburn plus 3.5. My God, I've watched that play a million times. That goal line play where they called it a fumble, but. Am I crazy? The ball was clearly over the goal line. What am I missing?
That was the worst ref game I can recall in my life.
It was horrible.
Because not only was that, if it was a fumble, Georgia takes it back to the house. So they missed that too on that play.
Yeah.
Right. So they missed it twice on the same play. On replay, everybody knows it was a touchdown. Even their fucking rules analyst and both announcers. I mean, I feel like everyone knew it was a touchdown. But then the drive after that's where it reeked of corruption to me. It was like you had that play, which I don't know how you don't overturn that. Then you have on that drive, you have a taunting that I thought was kind of horseshit, right? You have a roughing. What did they get on that drive? It was like a taunting, a roughing the passer.
They had two. Yeah.
It was like
2 or 3.
You just moved them up the field on 3 15-yard penalties.
That's crazy.
And then the timeout thing in the second half, that was a really bad, really bad refereed game. And they
claimed he was
Club Freeze.
Kirby Smart claimed he was clapping when clearly he was calling timeout, and they're like,
that's correct. I mean, that you have to hold people accountable in some regard. That was a clown show.
Yeah,
those refs should be suspended, in my opinion. They should be like the SEC, and Auburn's got the short end of the stick a lot this year. But that game specifically just had an odor to it. You're just like, man, all these calls they just seem borderline, and they're all going in Georgia's favor. You know, we see bad targetings and bad roughing the passers, consistently in football these days. But I just feel like the timing of all these things combined with the touchdown, it just reeked. It reeked. I think there should be action, because I don't know how everyone I know that watched the game, I couldn't even imagine being at the game. I'm surprised they didn't riot, to tell you the truth. But watching the game, it was just a bad viewing experience. It's like, what are we doing? Like, this is like,
this is supposed to be a great matchup, and the refs really put their thumb on the scale unnecessarily. And then Oklahoma, Texas. Why did they play Mateer? I still don't get that. And
that's very dumb. Like that one, because if you play the backup and lose, the committee will consider that. The fact they played him, that one, I think it's going to cost them the playoffs, because I think they're going to go. The schedule's too tough on the back end. They're going to have 3 losses probably. And you're going to look back and say, if you had started Hawkins, they might be more lenient on a 3-loss Oklahoma team being in the playoffs.
100%,
because their starter was out.
I thought it was bullshit when they were saying like, oh, he's going to play. Like, you can't. He had hand surgery on his throwing hand.
Yeah, why?
I didn't actually think he was going to play. I thought, hey, play Hawkins, make Texas fuck up, which I like. Oklahoma, if they don't get those interceptions and they play a little bit more. Mateer, I get it. He's from Texas. It's huge. He wants to play in that game. Blah blah blah. I get it. I'm sure he's pushing to play, but as a coach, you got to have some common sense and be like, dude, you cannot play.
Yeah, you lost us the game. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dickhead. And you lost us in the one last. Just now, this wasn't a lock or anything, but man, that Arizona BYU. That was an all-time. How did Arizona not win that game, and then it goes to overtime? That was
BYU's the luckiest team in the country so far, man. Did you see that? It was they had a 4th down where the fumble. It was almost like the famous Oakland Raiders play.
Holy rollers.
Yeah, they fumble the ball and it moves forward, but it wasn't like purposely kicked or anything. It just like everyone's going after it and it moves forward and they recover it for a 1st down. It's like, what? Come on. I mean, that was a tough beat, bad, but Arizona, you can't give up that many points in the 4th at home.
That was bad on them. Yeah,
I don't see how, like, if college and pro both change their rules so that 100% of the time, an offensive play, like an offense cannot advance the ball with a fumble. You recover it, it goes back to where it was fumbled. Like the
problem with that is, like, if you pitch the ball, where's the threshold? Where's the threshold on that?
What do you mean?
If you are pitching the ball, you see occasionally in the NFL, you'll still see it like on a trick player and like a fake punt or something where the guy will basically run the option. And if you fumble it or something, or if the ball's in the air and you take the ball forward, what is how do you do that?
So the player who fumbles can advance the ball, no one else. So if you fumble, I
like that though.
Okay, I think it solves a lot of this bullshit.
No, I get that. I get that side of it, but it's like, to me, if you do something like that, or what if you fumble the snap or something? And your running back grabs it. Don't you want him to be able to have the capability to run for a 1st down? If it's 4th and 1 and your quarterback fumbles the ball,
you can make. I mean, but if you're fumbling backwards, you can easily make that part of the rule. It's clearly just to fix fumbles forward. If you advance it from a backward spot, that's fine. I think it's more when the ball goes ahead. Like the situation that is stupid is when a fumble happens, the ball squirts forward 12 yards, and somehow the offense gets a 1st down because you know what I mean. Like that's crazy. That shouldn't happen.
All right, let's get to these games.
Oh, course, Sean wants to talk.
Brought to you by mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Head over to MyBookie where you can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using that sweet cryptocurrency. Look at that. Look at that sweet Pavia graphic. Vandy, a home favorite against LSU. Cannot wait to break that game down. Use the promo code SGPNs where you can score 100% bet back bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by No Vig. Who likes Vig? I don't. You can get great prices over on No Vig. College football, pro football. They even got props, first TDs, anytime touchdowns. I was on the Chiefs Sunday night -2.5 +104. Novig available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app. Use the promo code SGPN. California, Texas, Florida, Alaska, all states that can get in on the Novig action. Use the promo code SGPN when you download the Novig app, where you spend $5 and get $50. Promo code SGPN.
All right, let's get into the old. Let's see what the slide master cooked up this week. Oh, very nice. And we seem to have a man on the slide now. Are these is the man on the slide something? If you're not watching, YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast, but the man on the slide, Colby. And by the way, Sean, you had that was a +400 banger. You just calling out a state that wasn't on the no vig list. The odds of that very long shot. But Colby, what does it mean when you put a man on the slide?
They are playing for this that's Howard Schnellenberger right there.
Okay, so they're playing for a man.
Well, he coached at both schools, so they're playing for a trophy. This is the Schnellenberger Bowl. You know what I mean?
It just looks like a guy smoking a pipe.
He looks like a character out of Anchorman.
That's when personality actually mattered with coaching. You know, you could sit there and have a fucking pipe on the sidelines. He would light a pipe on the sidelines.
Gosh, I think I'm going to get into smoking a pipe. Seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't you just see me posting up at the circuit with a little, just a nice little tobacco pipe?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I was just thinking about you.
Got a nice little like.
I was more just thinking about the process of you throwing in your Sunday lippers and thinking applying that to a pipe, and I'm imagining there's some of the same potential downfalls, spills.
Well, you don't have a dip cup with a pipe. I'm gonna head over to Amazon, look up some pipe stuff. You guys talk about this game.
All right, let's get started with a Friday night game. So no Thursday night games here. Friday night, 4 p.m. We'll be out at the Circus, Sean. 7 p.m. live, Sports Gambling Podcast live. But this game starts at 4, so maybe even done before we start, Sean. Louisville heads down to South Beach to take on Miami, who looks like, as much as I hate to say it, one of the better teams in the country. -13.5 here for the Canes against Louisville. +425 for Louisville. 52.5 is the total. I mean, Colby, are you going to get cute and give us a bunch of reasons why we should take the points here?
All day. I mean, is there a better example of a coaching advantage?
Yes, but I mean this Miami team is just dominant.
You get 2 weeks to prep for Miami. You get 2 weeks to prep.
Yeah.
You know, both these teams are getting 2 weeks to prep, but I just think that favors Jeff Brom so much. Also, they're off the loss. Miami's kind of been everyone's got them as national champs when they put them in the playoffs now. Brom won the last time they played there too. I mean, Jeff Brom's been very good against top 10 teams. He has a 4-7 all-time record, and that was mostly at Purdue, which I know you'd say 4-7. That's not great. No, that's actually really good for Purdue standards. So yeah, I'll take the points all day here. We're gonna see, because that's something. If you look back, they got CJ Carr in his first ever start. CJ Carr's playing phenomenal now, but you know, that was his first start of his life in college football. Byron Brown, yes, they were able to contain him and the USF offensive line. But my point is I don't know how this will be the best passing offense they have faced this year, in my opinion. So I think that, I mean, Castellanos in Florida State, they didn't look good, or they lost again. So I mean, how good is that win? But I'll take the points all day when you're telling me Jeff Brom gets 2 weeks to prep for a Miami team that's, you know, might be smelling themselves a little bit.
And Louisville's defense, kind of underrated. I mean, if you were off the top of your head, Louisville #1 pass defense per EPA. You look at like the advanced metrics. They're, I mean, the 12th rated defense overall. If you look at the advanced stuff, like I think this Louisville team can ugly this game up with their defense and make this a game. I'm with you, Colby. Give me Louisville plus 13.5. And the dogs continue to bark on Friday night. So pissed didn't take Colorado State. And I don't know, Colby, we didn't get an explanation. What the hell happened with North Texas?
Well, I mean, second half, they couldn't hold on to the ball, but also they were too big for the moment. I mean, the moment was too big for them. Like that's a team that historically is not good, and they had a big home game and they looked great the first half to a certain extent, had the lead, and then
that was a wild ass game.
I mean, so they have 9 guys from Sam Houston State's defense. Sam Houston was a top 15 defense a year ago. That was the handicap, but also you got to hold on to the ball. But obviously South Florida, great halftime adjustments by Alex. Going to go to the goulash.
The goulash. Kramer, what are you doing? It seems like you might take your medicine and take Miami.
Oh, I'm not betting against Miami until
it
fails me. I
mean, Miami does look really good. It's an easy counter.
Colby's right. At some point, we're going to have a completely boneheaded situation. But this offensive line, this team just is. It's unfortunate, but they did a really good job recruiting. Coach O was talking. I listened to a Coach O interview where he has a couple sons on the staff at Miami, and he was as rock hard for this roster as he was for the ladies of South Beach. So lay it for. I mean, he was explaining part of the reason why he likes to take his shirt off is so that people notice him. I mean,
what's wrong with that?
Why is he not back in college football? Come on, get Coach O.
Motherfucker, I eat everything. I eat the pussy. I eat the butt. I eat every motherfucking thing. Yeah, right.
All right, so I'm gonna zag on your guys, Louisville, even though you pronounce it wrong. 5 p.m. on Friday night, heading to Minneapolis, where Nebraska takes on Minnesota. Minnesota, an 8.5 point home dog, plus 260 on the money line. Nebraska minus 320. 46.5 is the total. Nick Saban going out of his way to point out on national television that the SEC is deeper than the Big Ten. Colby, do you agree? Is Minnesota one of these teams ruining it for the Big Ten?
I mean, they're 4-2, but I mean, I do agree that I think the SEC is deeper. But ever since Saban said that, UCLA and Northwestern have jumped up. But yeah, I mean, I think the Big Ten's a lot better at the top than the SEC, but I think the SEC is a little deeper as a conference.
So who do you like here?
Well, the main thing is the distractions thing here, man. And I purposely didn't put Chapel Bill on the Friday night late card. I
couldn't do it.
Didn't want it to be.
And real quick, we glossed over it, but the chat was concerned as we skipped over the ECU Thursday night game against Tulsa.
Oh,
just okay.
Yep, you guys are solid.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so Nebraska, and we haven't even talked about the AP poll. How is Washington not ranked? Nebraska at Minnesota, Colby. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, Nebraska's laying 8.5, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you have to take Minnesota here. I think Nebraska, if you watch that Maryland game, if it wasn't for Nebraska having 2 kick returns that were like 90 yards or 85 yards, whatever it was, they probably would have lost that game. They were down the whole game. And the fact that their special teams kind of bailed them out twice. And that's Maryland. We knew Maryland would collapse and lose that game because it's Loxley. But PJ Fleck and Minnesota, although they have the ultimate lawn chair quarterback, I do believe.
Baby.
And another thing is, I don't know about like Nebraska's schedule is so soft this year. I still don't know about how good of a team they are. And I think when I look at them, I think they 91st in rush defense. Darius Taylor, the running back from Minnesota. You might be hearing me mention him at the next ad read, but he's very good. And to me, that's the advantage Minnesota has. I mean, Minnesota's not a great team, but I just think their defense is stubborn enough where they could hold Nebraska, and their run game. Nebraska seems to have a clear weakness to me with their run defense. So I'll take the points in Minnesota. I think it's worth a money line play too.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be live here. And to your point, Colby, yeah, some of the rush stuff, I think they can move the ball. And this is just, I don't believe Dylan Raiola as a big conference favorite on the road. Like laying 8.5 with Raiola, a guy who threw for 3 interceptions. He also took a number of shots. I saw that they were calling for the suspension of the guy who hit him late. Did you see that play, Colby?
I did. Look clean to me.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, Dylan Raiola took like a shot to his leg, and he's kind of like limping around. The guy like barely pushes him over, and people are like, immediately suspend this guy. It was off an interception. You always block the quarterback,
dude. We have a pandemic in this country right now of quarterbacks as announcers. Can we please stop putting quarterbacks on a microphone and give me any other position? I'll take punters on the fucking microphone right now over quarterbacks. It's just a pandemic of this thing. You saw who was on the call in the Alabama Missouri game, but it was just like who's the maybe it was Hjord. I forget. It was a quarterback, but I mean they just skip over these things. Oh, that's clear roughing, and it's like, what are you talking about? We got to fix that.
And Friday night home dogs. There's a formula, Kramer.
It's also going to be wet. Looks like there's going to be rain in this one.
That favors Minnesota.
Yeah, worth noting that Minnesota does have an equally bad. I mean, per the same numbers that would tell you that Nebraska's rush defense is bad. EPA, Minnesota not been very good either, but generally bad rush defense will let anyone run on them. I think this is purely just the distraction play. I let him listen to the press conference with Matt Rule. Do you want to know what one of the reasons he cited as to why he's definitely not leaving Nebraska to go to Penn State, even though he's from State College and grew up a Penn State fan?
And at Temple, that was his athletic director.
Yeah, exactly. He said because his family can sit in the stands in the Nebraska games. The fans are so friendly. That's like, are you kidding me, dude? That's the best you could come up with. He's gone. Give me Minnesota.
Jesse Palmer, by the way. Shout out to Pat in the chat. Jesse Palmer on the call, and good God, I wanted to vomit.
Well, what was his first move after playing? He went right into that bullshit beauty pageant shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Quarterbacks, there should be a rule. All right, only 2 quarterbacks should be on a microphone per season. All right, only 2 quarterbacks. All right. And
who's your top quarterback rule?
Who's your top quarterback on the mic right now? Is it Mark Sanchez after the stat?
Colby likes his.
I'm very pro quarterbacks with PCP.
Colby, wait till they start blaming CTE for.
I'm not up to date
Mark
on
Sanchez.
I'm not up to date. Mark Sanchez had PCP.
I'm just taking a gander out of knowing a few people that I know. Me and Sean know that I've seen do PCP. Yes. There's a lot of similarities.
There's going to be the toxicology is going to be interesting on Mark Sanchez.
Oh man. All right. So we're all on Minnesota. Discord. Enjoy Raiola. I did see someone say that part of the appeal of Matt Rule is you get Dylan Raiola up there at Penn State for a year. And my first thought was, how is he going to mimic Patrick Mahomes wearing blue and white? It's the wrong colors.
He's like, sorry, you're not going to be able to do
it. If you're Penn State and you had that locked up ahead of time, I guess you could see why. Like that's one of the few moves where I could be like, oh, okay, there's probably some monetary value to having a guy like Dylan, but even then, it's silly. All right, Baylor, TCU, little Fort Worth, Texas. 9 a.m. on Saturday here on the West Coast. TCU laying the 2.5, -140 on the money line, +120 for Baylor. 65.5 is the total. That is a sick horned frog riding a football. Colby,
what about this bear? You're gonna.
It's a solid bear. It's.
He looks like
Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Oh, the Blue Bonnet Bowl. What do you win if you get if you win the Blue Bonnet Bowl?
What is the trophy? I don't remember what the trophy is.
I'll look it up while you're telling us.
Tray of fresh muffins.
I'm sure it's a euphemism.
Guys, I'm on TCU, but this has been obviously a pretty wild rivalry of late. I would say since really Gary Patterson put TCU on the map. I feel like these games have been fucking insane. Majority of the times, I feel like if you did like a 15-year dive on this, No lead is ever safe. I feel like teams have had three touchdown leads, and you feel like, oh yeah, they're blowing them out, and they end up losing more often than not. But I'm on TCU here. I don't understand what's going on with TCU. They look like shit the past 2 weeks, but this is a key game. Both teams 4-2, and to me, the winner of this game can realistically make the Big 12 championship. But I think TCU is just the better team, and Baylor's defense is so bad when it comes to pass defense. I think the better quarterback is actually on TCU's side. I know both quarterbacks are studs, but I trust TCU's defense more. Andy Avalos, their DC, the former Boise coach, I think their defense is decent, whereas Baylor's defense I don't think is any good. So I will take TCU at home at Almond G. Carter Stadium there to get it done. Lay it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the TCU laying the 2.5. Baylor, betting on Baylor is, I mean, they truly are the cocaine bears. I feel like they've been all over the map this season. Crazy outcomes, crazy games. I do worry that this could randomly be like a 36-35 TCU win where they somehow win this game and don't cover.
Of course,
like a crazy failed 2-point or something like that. But to me, TCU, they're coming off a loss and they're just a completely different team at home than they are on the road. So yeah, give me TCU all day.
Yeah, it's just two classic Big 12 teams from when we used to enjoy it, when they didn't play any defense and they ran those basic ass. I mean, TCU is still not playing any defense, but you know what?
And they would run the veer and shoot, both of them for a little bit. I mean, Kendall Briles' son is TCU's OC. Art Briles obviously was at Baylor, and Sean, I've been asking for a Smear the Veer T-shirt in the store for a while. We've been waiting on that. We've been waiting on Suck That Clock.
Okay,
can we get those going? Because Suck That Clock is a perfect one for Tony Bennett. I know he's not at UVA anymore, but like that or the triple option attacks. Suck That Clock college experience T-shirts we need in the store.
Colby, can I ask you a question? Did you intend to call this rivalry the Blue Bonnet Bowl
or the battle? I don't remember what it was.
It's important because the Blue Bonnet Bowl was just a game between. It was just a bowl game that played between 59 and 87.
Oh, no, Kramer.
The Blue Bonnet battle is the rivalry between Baylor and TCU.
Even Colby with a PC language, Colby and his woke mob doesn't want to call it a battle, Ryan.
Well, the bowl
it's a violent terminology.
The Blue Bonnet Bowl was a game. It was a college football bowl game played in Houston, Texas.
We thought Colby was a guy who loved college football.
Here's the funny part about the Blue Bonnet Bowl. For a time, it was played in the Astrodome from 68 to 84. And during that time, they amended the name to the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl. Very creative. But this was just a bowl game that typically had a team from Texas versus someone else. The Blue Bonnet Battle is the rivalry game that has been being played since October 24th, 1899, as the slide says. Again, I'll be different than you guys. I think this is just a classic Big 12. Give me the points.
I think when I bet this, I might actually just take the money line at -140 because I'm more the 2.5. I think if any game that could matter, the 2.5 randomly, it might be that one.
I think in college football, especially, you taking a money line on a -2.5 when it's -140 is, as we learned from our friend Matt Humans at the Vegas airport at 6 a.m. Last Saturday morning. That's the move. Georgia Tech heads to Duke, Durham, North Carolina. Another 9 a.m. kick here on the West Coast. Duke has to be. Duke has to really be enjoying what's going on over at North Carolina. Duke laying 1.5 here, -125 on the money line. Georgia Tech +105. 61.5 is the total. Very interesting. Probably need a little investigation on the Georgia Tech cover last week after Virginia Tech just. I don't need to kick the extra point here or whatever. I mean, it landed right on 15. They did not go. They did not take an extra point at the end of the game. Anyway, Duke laying 1.5 against Georgia Tech. On the screen, if you're not watching on YouTube, there's an actual Blue Devil. Which is pretty terrifying. I don't think about how satanic the Illuminati program known as Duke is, but Duke loving the North Carolina downfall. How do you like him in this spot, Colby?
This game's huge, by the way, because the winner of this will have the inside track. So right now in the ACC, you have Miami, Georgia Tech, Duke, and Virginia, all undefeated, and most of them don't play each other because this conference is large as fuck now. So this is a gigantic game within the conference. And I might even roll to this. Me and NC Nick might have to hit this game up, but I just trust Georgia Tech in the clutch. I know Duke, and another thing is you got to worry about Manny Diaz. A lot of people have him on the top of the list to be Penn State's head coach as well. But really, Duke's defense has not been what I thought it would be this year. I thought it would be super elite. They have 3 or 4 guys that I think will be NFL players. So I don't know why. I know Terry Moore, their safety's been out, but they still have a lot of guys that I think are very good players. So I'm surprised the defense has been that shitty. And there's something about this Georgia Tech team, and just they know how to win me over by calling quarterback power 47 times a game. So I'm going to take the Jackets in a close one. Duke might be up the whole game, but the gut check, Georgia Tech just seems battle tested. Like in the final minutes, they know what to do. So give me these Yellow Jackets to get it done in Durham.
Yeah, I mean the line might be why you would be a little concerned about taking Georgia Tech. I mean, we like Georgia Tech coming into the season. I haven't seen anything to really throw me off the Georgia Tech scent, and this is a fade of Duke's defense. I think you bring Haynes King and just run it down their throat, and the dog mentality that he has, I think is going to be a tough out for Duke. Now, certainly.
The line tells us to bet Duke, though, right?
Right, because it's like an unranked team as a favorite against a ranked team coming in with points. I'm sure there's some trends that say that's a better spot for Duke. I just can't get there. Give me Georgia Tech. Kramer, how do you see this?
I kind of want to just fade all the distraction spots because Manny Diaz is being talked about he'll be getting talked about for every job, I think.
Really?
Well, wait a second. I mean, he was a DC under Franklin, so he knows the AD. He was also hired as Temple's head coach for a day before he left for Miami, right?
Yeah,
Belichick style with the Jets. So, and he has a long relationship with the AD.
Yeah, and I'm sure he wants to go to a spot where he's number one, not basketball. Everyone has that ego thing. So I'll take Georgia Tech as well because I'm just going to fade that. Real quick. Because I noticed that Colby had Wallace Wade on the graphic. Of course, he only represents stadiums he likes. Colby, do you know? I mean, you know who Wallace Wade is, I assume.
Of course, they have a statue of him there, dude.
So what would you say you know him for?
Well, I mean, I would say that being a coach and
being a football coach, you'd say,
yeah, and the stadium, I would say.
Yep. He not only coached college football, he coached 2 other college sports at the same time.
Really?
A lot of coaches, if you go back through history, dude, like, did you know that Parcells was a basketball coach at Army too?
Yeah. Coaching is coaching. He was a college basketball and a college baseball coach. When he was a football assistant at Vanderbilt, he coached the baseball and basketball team at the school at the same time. It's a true,
dude. For entertainment's sake, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't like? If we you got Dabo Sweeney coaching the basketball team too, that'd be fucking hilarious. Come on.
On some level,
get back to those days.
But on some level, a great head coach should be able to install assistants to help with a lot of schematical tactical stuff.
True great head coaches are just executives, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're not.
They could figure it out. I'm pretty sure you take a great coach and you put him in a different sport. That's why they go watch each other practice.
Mike Tomlin would be an excellent college basketball coach.
Oh yeah,
because he would get a guy who knows college basketball defense, a guy who knows offense. He would let them manage the minutes.
Who's the Arthur Smith of college basketball offense?
Yeah, he would some ugly ass offense. He would recruit the hell. I mean, Mike Tomlin comes in your living room and you're a college basketball player. You're signing up.
Those parents are signing up immediately.
So Mike Tomlin would be an excellent college basketball coach.
All right, little history lesson on Wallace Wade and a pick.
Great stadium though. They hosted the Rose Bowl one year.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was a wild nugget. Yeah, we're all on Georgia Tech. Enjoy Duke Discord. Washington heads to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan. Another 9 a.m. kick here on the West Coast. Michigan laying 6.5, -210 on the money line. Washington +175. 50.5 is the total. Washington certainly one of the snubs off the AP poll this week. I've also seen people start to connect the dots. Seems as though Michigan was at its best when coach was serving a suspension. I don't know if it's related or a small sample size, but it is cancel coach culture and season right now. Colby, are we taking the home team? Is this considered flying east? It's kind of more middle for me. And does Washington have a chip on their shoulder for getting no respect right now?
Well, this is a rematch of the national championship 2 years ago too, right?
Also that great point.
Yeah. I mean, I Indiana debunked that theory, by the way, by going.
Yeah.
Oh, they put it on. They put it on.
But it was an afternoon game, so the body clocks were fine.
This is a 9 a.m. kick on the West. So yeah, I mean, look, Michigan's an interesting team because we loaded up on USC last week. Me and Kramer did.
Yeah.
But the logic was Underwood will struggle to throw. It's not all on him. That the receivers suck too. But at home, I actually feel like they're a decent bet there. So I'm going to it's 6.5 is a big number.
You can't lay 6.5.
Too big of a number. That's too big of a number. I'll take Washington. Why did I think in my head it was 2.5 before doing?
You can't lay a number like this with Michigan right now.
Yeah, and Underwood's been better at home. Obviously, young quarterback, but I would say for me. And the 9 a.m. body clock thing, I think balances out with Washington having a chip on their shoulder that they don't have any respect. Benny Warnick in the chat saying, "Bring back Biff." Although we're only Biff Poggi fans if he's allowed to dress the way he wants to dress. You cannot
fucking snobby Michigan. You cannot, of shit.
You cannot cover up those tremendous cans. Let Biff's cans go free.
I want to see some side tit.
Yeah, that's part of the Biff Poggi experience, and he's a good head coach, or at least from what I've seen. But
he was building Charlotte. Like he had incredibly bad injury luck. He got wrongfully fired, in my opinion, at Charlotte.
And Washington, they had a road win in Maryland, so I think they can hang ish on the East Coast. I don't know if they're live, but I think 6.5 is too much for Michigan.
I mean, I know I guess you could question the opponents, but they've figured out the offense in every game other than the Ohio State game.
Yeah,
Ohio State kicked
their ass. Other than that, they've been in games,
and they even survived the look ahead spot last week against Rutgers, where they tried to start slow, fumble the bag, and they just turned it up.
I had that Rutgers ticket and looked so good for so long, and then they just eventually gave it up.
But I will say, the next 2 weeks, the little physical brand of football being played, so we'll see if Washington can hang in the Big Ten. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the points here.
Everyone on Washington. Plus 6.5.
9 a.m. Another 9 a.m. kick here. We're going back to Nashville, where Vanderbilt is laying points at home against LSU. Is Brian Kelly on the distraction list, as he is also being listed as a coach that could make the jump to Penn State? I love how people just can derail college football season just by writing an article saying this would be a great hire. LSU plus,
it's almost like NBA's and trades.
Yeah, no, it is. It's the NBA-ification of college sports, especially the coaching hunt. Vanderbilt laying 2.5, minus 130 on the money line. LSU plus 110. 48.5 is the total. Colby.
Well, I mean, LSU fans are furious that they're just dogs in Vegas, so they're ready to run Brian Kelly out of town just for being dogs to Vanderbilt. All right,
that is pretty embarrassing.
Dude, and I was much more bullish on LSU in the preseason. I know they're 5-1, but they have looked like shit lately. Like even in the South Carolina game, I didn't come away thinking this was their offense is terrible. The defense is decent, but the offense I think is terrible. Vanderbilt's had 2 weeks to focus on them too.
What happened to Nussmeier? I don't get it. I mean, I know he's dealing with some injuries.
I think he's got an injury. Forget what it was called. I think it's a very common injury in baseball, but
it's like oblique stuff, and it's probably one of those things where you can play through it, but he hasn't been 100%. It just seems like his play is just completely fallen off. I was high on LSU coming into the season. A lot of it was, hey, Nussmeier looked really good last year. I think he can build. They have a bunch of continuity, and it's just they've been going backwards.
They're also 113th in rushing the ball, and if you remove the FCS game from their schedule, they would be 129th. So that's the real concern, is they're a one-dimensional team, and their quarterback is dinged up. So yeah, I'm all over Vandy. They had 2 weeks to prep for this. Vanderbilt looked like the better team all year. There's a reason why they're favored. They are better. Yeah. So give me them doors. Then Brian Kelly, have fun with getting pissed on.
And I tried to find a good pissing sound effect, but they were just all over the map. They were in that Alabama game the entire time. Alabama clearly had a chip on their shoulder for all the shit that Pavia talked, but those 2 red zone turnovers, which are for the most part un-Pavia like, and the more I watch Pavia, the more it reminds me of Baker, and just kind of like the just guy who just plays with reckless abandon that you can't help but root for. Obviously, I'm going to be all over Vandy here. It is scary that they're a favorite at home against LSU. Like, you like Vandy better as a dog, but I think this is a nice bounce back spot. Pavia hates to lose. He's had 2 weeks thinking about that loss. And if there's anyone that has a chip on their shoulder of like, oh, you think Nussmeier's a better recruit? I could see Pavia being that guy. So I think he's going to be up for this game.
Apparently Nussmeier, on top of dealing with a abdomen torso injury that is causing him to not have the velocity on his ball, he picked up an ankle sprain last week as well. And also, Sean, it's the spread is telling us, right, when the lower seeded team or lower ranked team is favored, that's always
they know
it's a they know situation. Also, looking at the circa dollar splits, as we know, only sharp people are betting at the circa this time. 60%, 59% of the tickets, but 80% of the handle on Vanderbilt. So I would fully expect, and I'm assuming that has caused. I didn't actually check this, but I'll look real quick. Yeah, so would expect this number to continue to climb, probably 3 by the time we get to Vegas, unless something changes. Unless those LSU boys pony up some of their dollars. I remember at that UCLA LSU game where Colby tried to fight a guy for who was pissing on your car. Yeah. I think that same guy was flashing his bet slips to us, and he had a lot of money.
That's a
on
Tuesday
LSU.
In Baton Rouge. He's like, "What? I'm just pissing on your car."
Yeah,
what's
right
wrong?
now?
I'm just pissing on your car.
I was laughing too hard, and Colby just goes up and is like, "Not going to do that on this truck" or something like that. It's great.
Colby just is always in a like let's scrap.
Oh, Colby
wants to scrap at all times.
Colby's ready to throw down. Hey, why don't you throw down over on Underdog Fantasy? Promo code SGPN. Let's put together a little underdog entry. Play $5, get $100 of bonus funds. Promo code SGPN. Colby, we need to get back in the winning side here. What do we like for college football? No ECU plays.
I want to play that Minnesota running back.
Yes. I mentioned it earlier. Darius Taylor, he'll be in the NFL, guys.
Nice. So he's good.
He's very good. And
64 yards.
Yeah, against a bad rush defense too. The only thing that Nebraska might do is load the box because that lawn chair. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, the quarterback from Minnesota. They'll take you to Miller Moss. Miami's pass defense, I think 36, but I think that's a little bit deceiving. They played Bethune-Cookman. They played Thomas Castellanos, who's not known for his throwing skills. They also got CJ Carr in his first ever start. Miller Moss higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Ooh,
they're also going to need to score some points because Miami's going to score.
All right, so Darius Taylor higher 64.5 rushing yards. Miller Moss higher a 1.5 pass TDs. That is a you wager put in $100 entry and return $405. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is gonna bet you with props. Oh man, Rhythm really helped us out, Ryan, last night in Monday Night Football. They've been killing it in college football as well. Download the Rhythm app today. It's really fun. You can build your own models, or if you build the models, you're just basically adjusting some sliders, and Rhythm is doing all the analytics, all the data, and it's great. You just get to input it, and then you get to see the results. You can back test it. It's really fun. Shout out to Rhythm. Let's see here. We'll talk about Penn State, Iowa. Rhythm loves the over 39.5. Get in. They're great at FCS totals, great at sides, picks, props. They got it all. Use the promo code SGPN25. And Rhythm's on Penn State, Iowa over 39.5. Download the Rhythm app and use the promo code SGPN25 to get 25% off.
All right, and again, reminder: if you're not watching on YouTube, we did banish Arch Manning off the graphic.
Yes,
very embarrassing decision by Colby to suggest him in the first place. 9:45 a.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Oklahoma, South Carolina, in Columbia, where there is a lot of swirling rumors. There were private jets going from Columbia to Blacksburg. There's a lot of drama right now. If you're not up to speed with the Virginia Tech coaching search, that maybe there's some friction between Bud Foster, Eddie Royal, and one other person, and Bruce Arians in terms of how much they want to bring Shane Beamer in. Not surprising. My guy Bud Foster wants to bring Shane in. South Carolina and Shane Beamer, 5.5 point home dogs here, plus 180 on the money line. Oklahoma minus 215, coming off a very disappointing loss to Texas. I think you could definitely argue a bit of a laydown spot here. 43.5 is the total. This is situational spot handicapping 101. Right?
I'm all over South Carolina here, and maybe I'm crazy, but this just feels like the ultimate dream crusher game for Oklahoma. Mateer is, I'm sure, going to play again. I don't think his hand is fully fixed. Now he doesn't have the adrenaline of that Red River rivalry pumping through his veins. And I don't know if Oklahoma has the defense necessarily to go on the road. And this is an awesome get up spot for South Carolina on the other side. I think South Carolina is live on the money line. Now, South Carolina did get worked by Vandy at home, but Vandy's more of a physical team than this Oklahoma team. So I think this is a good spot for South Carolina and the Cox. Colby, how say you?
Yeah, I'm going to join you just because Oklahoma, they've played one road game, but it wasn't really a road game because it was at the Link playing Temple and there was no one there. There was like 12 people there.
And fucking who is it? Drexel or someone else filled in for Oklahoma's band against Temple. That was a big
it was, I think it was Drexel or LaSalle, one of the two.
One of the other schools,
Yeah. So that, I mean, that doesn't count. And the reason why I mentioned that is Mateer's banged up, but Mateer against Power 5 competition struggled some last year at Washington State, but mainly on the road. So this is his first like real lit environment in the SEC. Now I do think the South Carolina team has been a little phony, but I just think it's the spot too, coming off the Red River shootout and then having to go to Williams-Brice this place will be bonkers. I wish it was a night game though. I'd feel very confident if it was a night game. But still, give me those Cox.
Odd time. We'll have to isolate that. Give me those Cox. I think I've been fading the coaches who are being talked about in the Penn State situation. Is there any distraction here, as Shane Beamer is obviously entertaining the Virginia Tech job?
Who are your sources on this?
Is that a step up from South Carolina?
No.
Okay. Then why would he do it?
Because he's going to get fired.
Oh, okay.
He's just getting his backup plan ready to go.
Well, not if he beats Oklahoma.
So you're saying this isn't a distraction spot, Colby?
I mean,
all right. Give me the Cox
of your dad. I guess.
Because it's time. Because your dad has now. It's been two guys who sucked ass in between your dad and you. And it's although Whit Babcock's still in position, he's not involved in the hiring of the football coach. I don't understand what the fuck they're doing. They must just be getting ready to get rid of
Mark
him.
Stoops is the guy that's going to Virginia Tech, buddy.
You think so?
So have fun going 6-6 every year.
I don't like that. Don't give him those clauses in his contract where he just gets an extension if he goes to a bowl and goes above 500. Come on. All right, Discord on Oklahoma. We're all on South Carolina. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Georgia, the Chiefs of the SEC, getting all that help from the referees. I don't know if you saw this, Sean, but UTEP did a little research study on the Chiefs and refereeing, and they concluded that the refs had bias towards the Kansas City Chiefs over the last 8 years. Which seems
shocking,
pretty obvious to everyone involved. Ole Miss on the road here in Athens, taking on Georgia. Georgia laying 7.5 after that Fugazi win against Auburn. Minus 290 on the money line. Ole Miss plus 240. 54.5 is the total. Laying up to his old ways, basically highlighting that Kirby Smart is fat on the mic earlier this week. I love Lane. I love Lane Kiffin. I'm an Ole Miss guy now.
Penn State's next head coach.
Oh, that would be fun.
He doesn't strike me as a Northern guy.
I mean, he has coached at Nebraska for like a fucking long time.
So maybe he takes the Nebraska job once Matt Rhule leaves.
Maybe.
But he seems like he's doing all right for himself at Ole Miss. Although I could see not wanting to be in Mississippi. You could probably upgrade your situation moving out of Mississippi. It is an SEC program. Anyway, Colby, are we taking the points here?
No, I'm actually gonna. This is one of the ones I feel best about. I think Georgia.
Really?
So Ole Miss beat their ass last year in Oxford. Huge upset. I think Kirby Smart's probably had this one circled even in the offseason of how to stop that offense. Trinidad Chambliss looked human last week against Washington State, the D2 transfer quarterback spot. Or quarterback that's played pretty well so far. This is his first real road game. I know they're at Kentucky, but I don't know what to put into that. But at Georgia, this is a get right spot. I'm laying it with Georgia.
I'm going against Colby. I like Ole Miss in this spot just because that Wazoo was a classic look ahead towards this Georgia game, and I think you look at the advanced numbers. Ole Miss's defense actually better than Georgia's according to the advanced numbers. I think Ole Miss can keep this a game. I think Lane is a guy. If they are going to lose, he's going to try and backdoor it. He does seem to be aware of the spread, and this Georgia defense is just not that dominant Georgia defense of previous years. I think this is a 1-score game, so I'll take Ole Miss in the 7.5.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is Georgia's not as good as they've been.
Yeah,
someone who has a future ticking on them. They're going to need some help from the referees, which I guess we saw last week. They got it, but I'm willing to bet against them. Plus, like I said, I'm an Ole Miss guy now, or I'm back to being an Ole Miss guy. First Eli, now Jackson Dart. Good, and they just signed Juice Wells. They're bringing the band back together. I need to get Trey Harris on the squad as well. Good. Worst of luck, Colby. Old Dominion heads to Harrisonburg, Virginia, where lot of fairly good looking people on the campus of James Madison. Sean, that's what it's known for. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. JMU. Yep.
Are you talking about Patty C?
Yeah, some great views in Harrisonburg.
Very hunky.
Yeah, lower bar. Guys like Patty C roaming around, so you can really upgrade their situation. The Fruity Cats wearing a crown, known as Monarchs, come to town. Old Dominion catching 1.5 here against JMU. Plus 105 on the money line. 46.5 is the total. This is the. Are you calling this is the Royal Rivalry?
Yeah, it hasn't been that long in football, but I think it's a school thing. I think it goes back to other sports where they played for a long time. ODU brought back their football team in 2011 from like the 40s or something. But this is fun. I mean, look, this is both these teams could make the play. I mean, well, ODU was like, I think they had them as the favorite or one of the favorites to make the playoffs last week before they lost. Classic look ahead spot as they went to Marshall and lost. But both these teams are still a path, I think. They need a little help from the AAC. They needed the Carnet, everyone to beat up on each other. But I think JMU is in a pretty good spot with their only loss being to Louisville at Louisville. So I'm going to take Bob Chesney's bunch. Give me JMU at home at Bridgeforth Connect Stadium there.
According to the data I'm seeing, they've only played this, and this is only the 6th matchup in football.
Yeah, because remember, ODU they did like 1 year in the FCS or something. Then they jumped to the FBS when they kickstarted their program. So JMU was still in the FCS for all those years.
I'm just saying, it's I get the schools, it's a rivalry, but we're not talking. There's not a lot of history here, Colby.
In football, no, but in all the other sports, yes.
What do you want to talk? Men's soccer?
This is one of the greatest.
Knowing you, yes.
Ryan is the soccer guy. It's funny you went there. This is tough because the numbers say ODU is the play as the dog, but rivalry game, and I do think it is. I'm with Colby. It is a rivalry game.
6th ever meeting, big time rivalry.
They do.
No, but
they seem to hate each other.
You're battling for players on the recruiting trail, especially both teams in the Sun Belt. You are battling for the same player.
I'll take JMU laying the 1.5. Kramer, what are you doing? You look like a fruity cat.
I'll be a fruity cat this week. You guys can be I mean, that bulldog's on all fours though. Look ready to take it.
He's got an amazing, amazing cape and a great crown.
Yeah, the dog likes it doggy style. The cat standing up, ready to go. 12:30 p.m. I'll disagree with you. ODU plus 1.5. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading out to Boise, where UNLV takes on Boise State on the blue turf. Minus 11.5 for Boise State here at home. Minus 450 on the money line. The Rebels plus 340. 63.5 is the total. Colby, why is this on the sheet?
Why is it? What do you mean? UNLV is undefeated. This is the winner last season made the playoffs in the Mountain West Championship.
Seems like a good reason.
Yeah, and then also UNLV is undefeated. Dan Mullen's team has been by far, to me, the luckiest team in college football. They've been down every single game. I feel like, or like the Wyoming game. They go up to Wyoming and Wyoming's punt protection. They get 3 block punts, 2 for a touchdown. Right, just normal shit. Wyoming couldn't make an adjustment to. Almost had a 4th block too. And then Boise, like Boise's not officially eliminated yet. If USF loses at Memphis or to Navy in Annapolis, that could put Boise back in the mix, despite them having a kind of a rough start to the season with losses in Tampa and South Bend. But and also home field. It looks the Mountain West championship game in the Mountain West, you get home field. So this is huge. And that is why I will lay the 11.5, because I think UNLV is phony as hell. And we'll see. Dan Mullins had magic, but I think Boise will just better on the line of scrimmage. So I like laying the 11.5.
A lot of Hokie fans also seem to have Dan Mullen high on their list. I'm not sure as to why there. So we worried that he might be distracted at the Virginia Tech opening?
Or he's from Pennsylvania. What about the Penn State opening? Huh? Yeah. There's no way, right?
Fun fact. So we were out at the Circa for media day, for sign up weekend media day, and bumped into some of the guys who do local radio in Vegas. And one of the guys tipped me off to the fact that Dan Mullen is, on top of doing a weekly radio show, which is fairly common for the coaches, he does a ride and drive segment where he interviews guests while driving them around Las Vegas, sponsored by a local Toyota dealership. But I mean, he's not focused on coaching. Lay the points.
I'm going against you guys. Colby said it. This team has a horseshoe up their ass. 11.5 for a team. The gambling overall strategy would say undefeated team getting 11.5 points. You got to fade it because the books know. They know. I have not been impressed with this Boise State team. UNLV might want a little revenge for having their seat. Didn't Boise State beat them in Vegas? Right, kept them out of the playoff.
No, it was in Boise. It was in Boise.
Yeah. It was. Oh, you're right. It was in Boise.
Yeah.
I was watching it in Vegas. But I get it. Boise's great at the Smurf turf, but
yeah,
you guys are crazy. UNLV figures out how to pull games out of their ass. 11.5 points is way too much. Give me UNLV all day.
No, he's too busy working on his driving interview content. And then also, Sean, just to give you a little heads up, you might be on a public dog there.
Of course, UNLV. Public's got to win sometimes, right?
SMU. So me and Colby on Boise State, Sean rowing the other direction with UNLV. SMU heads to Clemson, where we'll be in Clemson, South Carolina at 3:30 local time, 12:30 on the West Coast. Clemson minus 9.5, minus 360 on the money line. SMU plus 280, 54.5 is the total. Colby, Dabo's back, right?
I mean, this is a rematch of the ACC championship game in Charlotte. That was probably the best championship game a year ago. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a path. I mean, I know Clemson has.
Yeah, it's a path.
There's a path, and it starts right here. All right, and I should have mentioned SMU is also undefeated in the ACC when I talked about the undefeated teams prior. But yeah, I'm laying with Clemson. They found something that bye week. They found their mojo. All right, so SMU, I still think is a solid team. That still, I wouldn't, even after they lose this, they'll still be alive to get to the ACC championship. Dude, have you looked at the ACC race? It's going to be hilarious when Cristobal fumbles a game or two and it lets everybody else in. It's going to be very funny because it's going to come down to a ridiculous tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, like this is a lit environment. They played this one in Charlotte last year, and Clemson had the crowd, but there was nothing like this. So yeah, load up, lay it with Clemson.
Dabo's back. Nothing revitalizes you like kicking Bill Belichick's ass. Jordan being on the sidelines, that really seemed to get a spring in their step. I lay it with Clemson. I'm not fading them right now.
We've seen this from Clemson before, and SMU has not looked good on the road.
No.
So
no. Lay it.
Dabo's back. Lay it with Clemson. Texas A&M heads to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas.
Woo, Pig Suey.
Petrino already on the mic, so it seems like they've already hired him as the head coach. I don't quite understand what we're waiting around for. I still see articles calling the job an opening. Seems silly. Texas A&M laying 7.5 here on the road, -300 on the money line. Arkansas +250. 61.5 is the total. Another 12:30 kick on the West Coast. Colby, you just gonna take your boy again?
I mean, this is the one that gets them that lifetime contract, right? They have not played this on campus in like over a decade, right? Or maybe
they always play it in Jerry's world, right?
I think during COVID they played it in College Station, but because they had to, because they couldn't do the neutral site thing. But yeah, it's been in Jerry's world. Filthy game, considering the history of this game. And they were both in the Southwest Conference. It was a big time rivalry then. Now it's back on campus where it should be. Thank you for wising the fuck up. This is it. This is the lifetime contract. And I know A&M's my team. I got them in the playoffs, but Road Rash Face gets that lifetime contract here. They cover the points. Am I a little nervous that Arkansas's run defense is terrible and A&M's offensive line is probably the best in the nation? 100%. 100%.
Is this a weird? I wouldn't call it a look ahead spot, but I mean Texas A&M after Arkansas, they go at LSU and then at Missouri. Like this is, they might be looking a little past Arkansas. Is that crazy?
Exactly. And when you add in the fact A&M has held SEC offenses to 2 for 36 on 3rd and 4th downs in their game so far. 2 for 36. But go back to their only road game they played, which was in South Bend, Indiana. They gave up 429 yards of offense to Notre Dame. So I think Road Rash Face can run his quarterback.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to stretch the ball down the field because life's a little different on the road, especially in a heated rivalry. They've only played in Fayetteville once since the 90s, since like the early 90s. They're going to be ready for this one. All right.
This is this is Petrino's first home game. The offense looked noticeably better against Tennessee. So I'm with you. Woo Pig Suey. Yeah. Arkansas +7.5.
The Notre Dame angle is a good one. The difference is that Arkansas has no defense.
Yes. It could be a problem.
Like worse than Notre Dame's. I'm laying it with Texas A&M. Just going to keep taking Texas A&M. They've been good to me.
Yeah. No, they do their offensive line and both those running backs they have will be in the NFL. Like they're a really good team. I just feel like one of these road games will be slippery for them. And I think
you guys are just fanboys. You want to get in that sidecar, Mr.
Oh, 100%.
Just scream "Woo Pig Suey" as he crashes in a ditch. Texas Tech heads to Arizona State. Forks up, where at 1 p.m. on the West Coast, Arizona State will be a 9.5 point dog in Tempe against Texas Tech, who we now have a future on, Sean, worth noting.
Yeah.
+290 on the money line. Texas Tech -380. 49.5 is the total. I see and I assume that the ridiculous injury report for Arizona State, it was 2 pages long. I assume that's not going to get. I mean, I guess, do we have any update on the quarterback? He's not going to play.
I mean, if we do, who gives a shit? Yeah. Because it could change. Right before
exactly. They don't have rules. You got to figure this out, college football. But at this point, I see no reason to fade Texas Tech. They just lean on you. They're like a wrestler in a UFC match that's elite. They just lean on you and eventually choke your ass out.
Texas Tech is, I'm going to say the best team in the country right now. I think it's maybe a little crazy.
Colby, who's your number 1 team?
Indiana.
Okay.
Indiana deserves to be up there. And I guess maybe if you say Indiana's best win at Autzen, maybe they deserve
and
the number
at
one.
Iowa, two really tough environments. This one we'll find out because this is the second tough spot for them. I mean, I know they played at Houston, but a little different when going to Sun Devil Stadium. So my thing is, you got to pay attention to if Levitt's going to play. You probably want to wait to bet this, but I think they did this. I think they sat out Levitt last week against Utah because they knew if they rushed him back, they had Texas Tech on deck. You can't lose both games. Their other loss is to Mississippi State. Who cares? Your chance to get to the Big 12 championship is pivotal that he plays in one of those two games. I think he's going to play this one. But you gotta, I mean, you don't want to be betting on Jeff Sims otherwise. I'm saying he plays. Give me the points in the Sun Devils, because if he plays, I think it's a game.
No, I'm not betting against Texas Tech until I see otherwise. Like, this team just looks so good right now,
and
at the line of scrimmage. And I'm pissed I didn't lock him up against the Jayhawks. It was so easy.
It's not even going to be that hot. So there's not even a chance they get a weird desert angle. It's only supposed to be a high of 77 on Saturday.
Balmy.
Yeah, I'm laying it with Texas A&M and Texas Tech until further notice. Next up, 4:30 p.m. here on the West Coast, USC taking on Notre Dame on the road, a classic rivalry that Colby appreciates. Notre Dame laying 8.5, and
it's in jeopardy.
Remember? Oh yeah, of course. The Big Ten doesn't want to see this game continue to be played unless Notre Dame joins the Big Ten. Minus 8.5 for Notre Dame, minus 320 on the money line. USC plus 260, 61.5 is the total. We should briefly talk about USC once again in the news for the wrong reasons, as they've been fined.
This was crazy story.
So they got fined $5,000 for playing running back Brian Jackson last week against Michigan. Now, the reason they got fined is because Jackson was listed as out on the injury report. Now, once again, college injury reports are complete shit. When they suffered a bunch of injuries, and so they said, you know what, you're not that injured. We're going to play you now. Now, first of all,
they knew they were going to get fined at that point, but they're just like, we got to beat
$5,000.
Well, that's my point. If the fine is going to be $5,000, I mean, are we serious? We got to update these.
The fine could have been $5 million. They would have taken it, because I think the playoff money. You have a nice path to the playoffs. You had to play him. You had to start somebody, or you had to get somebody in the game that could be efficient based off of all your injuries.
If you want to be taken seriously and not have constant gambling scandal, you have to solve the injury report problem in college sports. You can't make the penalty be $5. Why would any college care about any injury report if it's only going to cost them $5,000?
Yeah.
They spend more than $5,000 for their social team for a weekend, posting clips of shit. This is comical. Anyway, USC laying. Where are we at? USC catching the 8.5. Colby, are you? This does seem like a tough spot for SC, but what are you doing?
It does, especially the way Notre Dame's throwing the ball. Right, like CJ Carr has probably been the most impressive young quarterback out of all of them. Everyone's talking Arch. Everyone's talking Lagalele at Florida. I think CJ Carr has been the one that's like, oh man, this guy's going to be a top 5 pick. USC's dinged up. It's on the road. I think you got to lay it with Notre Dame. As much as I think USC is really good this year, it's just 2 tough games in a row, 2 beatdown games that they're beat up as a team. I don't normally love laying more than a touchdown in this game historically, but I think it's the right spot.
This is interesting because when this opened, USC was getting 10 points, I think, and it just seemed like too obvious, right? Hey, USC getting 10 points, and it's been bet down here a little bit. I do think the fact that this is a late kickoff does seem to help them. I mean, they were even bitching about having to play that early game against Illinois after having to play the late game against Michigan State. Of course, no one cares because USC was part of the reason. But I mean, yeah, no shit. You're playing these games in the Eastern time zone. You asked for it.
I actually think this opened at 8.5 and it's been bet up to Circa has a 10 right now. DraftKings and FanDuel are at 8.5.
Oh, okay. So we're not using the Circa number.
It moved while we've been doing the show. Okay. So the trying to get some extra points on your pick.
Yeah,
kind of surprising to see Circa be this far off market with most places.
To the chat's point too, I think they're calling for rain and wind. And
does that help USC?
No, they run the air raid. So I mean,
I'm joking. Someone's gonna write.
No, but it might. I mean, it might help them because if Notre Dame's looking to get a big cover and neither team can throw the ball,
that's true. That is.
You
true
can make
in
a
that
case.
Regard.
I'll go Notre Dame though. The fact that it was, I don't know. This is a little. It feels a little scary. And USC's coming off a win.
And I'm looking at this weather. I think the
you like USC here, Ryan? Make the case. Because this is
it's
tough.
A huge number.
Yeah,
SC is a good. I mean, they're a little bit banged up, fair, but this is a big number. And Notre Dame, like Notre Dame's defense hasn't been that good. So I fully expect.
Give me USC. I'm Benedicting it.
I expect them to be able to score some points.
Give me USC plus 8.5.
Shout out to the billionaire that said if USC cancels the Notre Dame series, he will leave them out of his will that he currently has.
I like that,
but that is so. This is one of those times where I don't quite understand.
That's what Colby's going to do if he gets $1 billion. Just make demands on college 100%. Football.
You want to sell the best product. Team. You want to sell the best product. Why are you like getting rid of the stuff that people like the most? Which is like this is a great and it's LA like TV market, whatever.
Lincoln Riley is saying his conference schedule is too tough in the time zones within the. It's like, well, you didn't have to join the fucking Big Ten,
but
you were to that pivotal point.
But to that point, this is a later game, so I think that this is 4:30 Pacific time. So I think that doesn't hurt them. Like Notre Dame probably should have played this game at noon, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah,
kind of, or nighttime. Yeah. I think anytime you can get the night home game, it's just a better product for the television audience. Tennessee, I guess it's night-ish. Tennessee heads to Tuscaloosa, where the Vols are 9.5-point dogs against Alabama. I've been completely off on Alabama all season. Alabama minus 320 here. Tennessee plus 260. 58.5 is the total. I mean, I don't really know. Any distractions with Saban potentially being on the Penn State shortlist? Does that affect the handicap here?
No, if anything, like I think we load up on Bama. I know it's their fourth hard game in 4 weeks, but Arkansas had 500 yards of offense at Tennessee last week. I think Tennessee's kind of like I think they've kind of dressed up their schedule a little bit or their record a little bit. I think this is where Alabama can expose them. So I like laying that number. I think it's one of the better plays on the board.
Yeah, Colby's been all over this Alabama team, and yeah, they've certainly looked good. That was a nice win against Missouri. If you got it late, you got the 3.5. You got the cover there. But this was tough because I don't know how much of that Tennessee game was a look ahead to this Arkansas
and that's fair. That's fair.
Were they looking past Arkansas a little bit? They were kind of always in control of that game. How much do you ding them for that? Their defense, but Alabama at home.
Is Alabama good?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, Ty Simpson's. I would say Ty Simpson
going to win the Heisman
on the road at Missouri. He made a bunch of high level plays. So
he's a beast, but I as someone that took Bama to win the Natty, I'm a little nervous about that run defense is going to catch him at some point. They got to fix that. They got to continue to fix that because the run defense, I don't know. Someone's got to hit me with the last team that won a national championship with the run defense that bad. So,
they don't have that ever since he switched up the fucking office. From a classic mahogany trophies to this fucking T-Mobile stuff.
94th right now.
You know what? You're right. Give me Tennessee. Yeah. I forgot about this.
I have in my notes. Ryan is going to mention The Office.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why I'm out on this team. It's probably why I've been wrong about this team too a lot. Absolutely. Give me the Vols. So that doesn't seem right as I'm saying it out loud. Good luck to you two. Two more. Missouri heads to Auburn, coming up reeling after being completely hosed by the refs. Now, and Missouri kind of screwing themselves. Definitely had a chance to win that game against Alabama. Auburn catching 1.5 here, plus 105 on the money line. 43.5 is the total. I don't think you can take Missouri in this spot.
Of course not. It's their first fucking road game of the season, which is ridiculous that other schools are on their fourth road game. And Missouri's playing their first road game. Loss. All right. Load up. Strip club freeze saves his job for another week as Auburn beats this counterfeit Missouri team.
It's a battle of the Tigers. Yeah, and kind of a dream crusher game for Missouri. Like they were hanging around against Alabama. Now you got to go on the road for your first road spot against an Auburn team that should be pissed off with the way things shook out against Georgia. I think this. I'm with you, Colby. I think this is a great spot for Auburn. I'm surprised they're a small dog here. Yeah, I mean Missouri's numbers got to be inflated because they've only played home games. How could it not be? Kramer, what are you doing?
It's clear and obvious fade spot. I mean, both because it's the first road game. Also, if it was just a road game off the Alabama game into a sneaky spot, that the Auburn cat on the screen is very much looking like it's trying to have sex with us.
Oh, it's super horny.
It's very horny. Kind of reminds me of the coffee shop girl out at the Circa. Hey,
great reference.
Your friend was, I mean, it's just for you, Sean, but your friend was just here. Damn, he beat me again. That's the conversation every week.
I'm always first, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. I take the second position. Utah. All right. So we're all on Auburn. Enjoy Missouri Discord. Utah, BYU. We're heading to Provo for the,
best game of the day.
When is the Holy War normally played?
Well, no, it used to be. This is one it's kind of like the backyard brawl. It used to be the final week of the season.
Yeah, let's go.
Then they weren't in the same conference, so they weren't even playing, or they were doing a couple years they didn't play it, and then they did a non-con thing, so they had to do it the first 3 weeks of the season based on the Pac-12 schedule rules. So they were doing that. Yormark gets them back in the same conference, and they can't figure out that this is a fucking rivalry game that should be played the final week of the season.
Give me snow
because you're seeing the stakes right now.
I need snow. Utah heads to BYU. Utah laying 3.5 on the road here, -175 on the money line. BYU +150. 49.5 is the total. Utah completely skull fucked Arizona State last week. BYU, I think you mentioned it earlier in the show, a little bit of a horseshoe up their ass.
Yeah, and shout out to Benny in the chat. The last 25 champions have been in the top 20 in run defense. So Alabama, like I said, currently 94th in run defense. That's my concern on my future, even though they do look good right now.
Better fucking execution.
This rivalry, guys. Look, I know Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn, Army, Navy get a lot of the headlines. The Egg Bowl and backyard brawl, I think, are the darkest rivalries. Like they're the nastiest. They're the nastiest. They're like they fucking hate each other to a great extent.
1896 was when it was first played in April 6, 1896. Shout out to spring football. Utah won 12-4. Then they played it twice that year. They also played it November 14th, 1896. Utah won 6-0. Then BYA, as they were called back then. Oh, they played it a third time in 1896. They got a revenge, 8-6, then 14-0, 22-0, and then 5-0. They had some hilarious scores.
Well, you guys, the message boards are golden for this rivalry. So I don't know if there's any validity to it, but there's a lot of message boards that say a Utah girl was the one that had sex with Retzlaff on purpose. They went public to get Retzlaff out of BYU.
It's a great conspiracy.
Fucking. I hope it's true. I hope it's true.
Honey, take one for the team.
Yeah. I mean, but the only problem is BYU's undefeated with the freshman Bear Bachmeier. This game was
a dog.
This game was bonkers last year. BYU won 22-21 in Salt Lake City. Utah obviously had no Cam Rising. So I'm going to play the revenge angle. Utah goes in there. I like laying the 3.5 with the Utes. A little terrified of the hook there. I would prefer if we could get 3, but I think they're better than BYU. They get it by 6. Give me a 30-24 final.
Yeah, BYU also coming off an overtime game. I mean, BYU had to empty the tank to beat Arizona. I mean, Fafita and the crew had him up against the ropes in Tucson. I feel like that was kind of draining. Where Utah was kind of in cruise control for most of that second half. I'm with you. I like the revenge. Normally I go home dog in a rivalry game, but I think the revenge angle. BYU's won the last 2 of these. I think Utah wins and covers. Give me Utes laying the 3.5. Kramer.
I would say that if you do dive into the message boards about the Retzlaff situation, there are some things that would make you believe. So it was not someone who was attending the university or someone that lived in Provo. It also apparently was filed. The lawsuit was filed in the same county as the University of Utah. And then there's also a decent amount of, and again, this is per Reddit sources, decent amount of chatter about the fact that Provo is pretty good at hiding this kind of stuff normally. So surprised to see it get out. And that may be tied to the fact that it was filed in a non-Provo court. So it does sound like Utah may have deployed a spy to take down.
Please. I mean, there's a great book. I forget the name.
For the love of the game.
Man. There's a great book I read on this rivalry. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but it came out. I probably came out in the 90s or the early 2000s. I highly recommend this. And there's an Egg Bowl book too. Those two, I mean, they fucking really, really, really hate each other, and it's beautiful.
I mean, I'm surprised both of you are laying the points here. I'll take the points.
I see
Holy
the case.
War.
I see
points
the case
at
for
home.
BYU.
Nothing else to think about. And if they have evidence that that Utah was behind this, look, I recently visited the Utah campus. Very nice, spending a lot of money. I imagine they could figure out a way to make something like this happen and then disappear.
The fans are speaking, Kramer.
I know the more questions than and I like that we're slowly leaking it out. We're getting people volunteering to work for the show. We're getting a good topic list growing. So yeah, it's great. Stay tuned.
Of course, we are doing our lock, dog, and tease brought to you by mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Kramer, what are you laughing at?
Laughing at the Latter-day Saints comment that was just on the screen. Shout
out to the chat. What was the comment? For audio listeners, Ryan.
Bible of the Latter-day Saints is the book called.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Story checks out.
Yeah. They cover all 130 matchups between BYU and Utah right there in the books.
It's mostly
chapter 1, verse 1. It's 1896 in April. We have a football game against these pussies from Utah.
We're gonna play 2 more times too.
All right.
Should I go first? I've never gone first.
All right.
I feel like either you or Colby go first. And maybe
college has been bullshit so far. So you go first.
I've had some bad, some weird outcomes. We are hanging alive in the college football contest, which is nice. So first lock, love Auburn +1.5. Great spot there. I'm going to just keep riding this Texas Tech team. Give me Texas Tech -9.5. They're just an awesome team to watch. The line, the trench play is just incredible. Love them. Great spot there. For my final lock, Vandy is tempting. It's just them being a favorite there is slightly scary. That's the only thing that's probably getting me off them. Do like Arkansas, but I'll go Minnesota 8.5. They do have a launch. I'll go Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech. Good situation spot here. Do not believe in Duke's defense. So yeah, give me Georgia Tech +1.5, Texas Tech -9.5, and for my dog, give me South Carolina, the Cox on the money line +180. For my tease, give me Alabama down to 3.5. Feels very doable there for Alabama. Give me Clemson down to 3.5, and last but not least.
Very frisky, Sean.
What's a frisky tease?
Oh, it's, yeah, a lot of missing some key numbers, including some key numbers.
Give me UNLV +17.5.
Oh, there you go.
That's a key number. Colby, why don't you go next?
All right, we will lock Alabama minus the points.
My eyes just got big.
Let's go to let's just do the locks first. Second lock, Boise minus the points. Get this UNLV shit out of here. Third lock, let's go to. Let's go to. That's a good question. There's 3. Let's go. Auburn.
Auburn +1.5. Dog. What do you got?
The dog. What can I get my clients the most value at here? Minnesota money line.
Oh, I do like that one as well. Minnesota +260 on the money line. I will be playing that at Circa. What's your tease?
Yeah, the tease. Let's go to bring Bama down to 3.5.
Great minds think alike over here.
Yep.
Let's bring. Let's go Clemson down to 3.5.
Yep.
Let's go. What is the third leg here? Let's go. Let's bring Georgia Tech up to 7.5.
Okay, Kramer, what do you got?
Wow, Colby going normal tease there for a little bit. It's a lot. All right. I mean, do we? I was kind of thinking I was going to fade all the coaches being distracted by the coaching search situation. So that would mean we go. Let's lock up. Well, let's start by locking up Texas A&M. I said I'm going to keep locking that up until it fails me. You guys are just attracted to Bobby and his off-field activities.
Big Suey.
I also like. I kind of like the South Carolina get up spot too, but let's skip that. Give me Minnesota plus the points as the next lock because Matt Rule's distracted.
Like that.
Give me the Georgia Tech because Manny Diaz is distracted.
Like that. What's your money line dog, Ryan?
Give me. Is Michigan really any good? Give me Washington.
What's that? Plus 180 on the money line.
Plus 180.
We got it.
Plus 175.
175.
Tease. Boise State down to 5.5.
Okay.
Let's bring Texas Tech down to 3.5. And Holy War, you're giving me 9.5 points in the Holy War and a tease. Give me that.
Alrighty.
I also would. I'm going to be betting a Texas A&M Texas Tech parlay. Just a little Texas parlay there.
If they played, who would you take in that game?
Texas Tech.
What about? Let's see. What about if we can get
Texas Tech has done the same thing in every game. They just lean on their opponent until eventually the opponent gives in. So until I see an opponent not give in, I'm on Texas Tech.
What about a Washington South Carolina money line parlay? Can I interest anyone in that?
I'm in there.
Colby?
Let's go.
Washington, South Carolina money line parlay. That should be a nice, juicy one. What about the contest? I'll go first, keeping the locks going. Auburn plus 1.5 for the contest. Colby, what's your first contest play?
Let's take. I mean, I think Bama's the play here. You might even be able to get a better number by then too. So let's go.
Alabama minus 9.5. Yeah. Kramer.
Minnesota plus 8.5.
I do like that. Second pick for me. Give me. I mean, Texas Tech has just been a machine. Texas Tech minus 9.5. Colby, what do you like for your second pick for the contest?
Boise minus the points.
Boise State fading the Rebs. Boise State minus 11.5. Kramer.
Georgia Tech
plus 1.5. Okay. So we each got 2 picks in. Now we got a consensus play. Let's see. Consensus play that we all like. Clemson, SC plus 5.5. Vandy, Washington.
South Carolina would be the. Which one you want to do? Vandy.
We believe in Pavia.
Vandy.
I could go either way. Kramer, you cool with Vandy?
I mean, I've been relative dog shit. Although I was undefeated last week. I was 1-0-1 in the contest picks.
I just keep going 1-1. I feel like, and then some sort of boning happens.
Let me say that again. I didn't get any of my contest picks wrong.
Oh well, good, week. Ryan. Putting the team on your back. All right, so we got Auburn plus 1.5, Alabama minus 9.5, Minnesota plus 8.5, Texas Tech minus 9.5, Boise State minus 11.5, Georgia Tech plus 1.5, and Vandy laying the 2.5. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And shout out to the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Hockey is back. Check those guys out wherever you get your podcasts. Shout out to Ryan and Joel. Do a great job of picking some hockey. If you're looking for extra action, the NHL is on facing off. I was going to say tipping off, but that's basketball. Also right around the corner, NBA Gambling Podcast. Check out Colby and the college experience, football and basketball. They're already doing some conference previews.
I saw that. That's pretty wild. When does basketball start, Colby?
November 3rd.
So right around the corner.
Yeah.
Get ready there. RIP Sister Jean and smash in honor of Sister Jean. Give us 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah,
she would appreciate that. Answering all our questions and comments over on Spotify. And while you're there, toss us a nice little 5-star review. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Likes for Sister Jean. I like that.
Kramer, let it ride.